So everything's going great. I'm rolling in the dough. My first year as a brand new part-time real estate investor, I net north of 120. My second year, ballpark figure, you guys don't hold me to this, disclaimers, lawyers, SEC. It was around 300 net or something like that. And then in year three, so 2016-ish, I was on target to net around 500-ish. We were at a retreat, and me and LaDonna and two other friends of ours, we were like, we are crushing it. We're doing great. Let's start a challenge. Whoever can net $1 million first is like the winner. I don't even know what the prize was. We get bragging rights, right? We net $1 million first. And so for me, because I knew I was so good at raising private money, I looked at my target market in Chicago. And I saw in the north side of Chicago, it was this pocket with huge demand, but developers hadn't gone into that market because to buy distressed property, some of you can probably relate to this, it was like 600,000, 700,000, and they didn't know how to raise that kind of money. They didn't have that kind of money of their own. It doesn't matter how deep your pockets are, you guys. At some point, you're going to be over leveraged, even if you do choose to use your own money, depending on your investment strategy. So I was like, dang, in order for me to hit $1 million, I'm very competitive. Sean and I are both former athletes. I was like, I'm going to win. So I was like, all I need to do is just buy 10 of these $1 million properties because each of them are netting on the low end $100,000. Great. So I went into this north side of Chicago, started putting in all these offers. They're all getting accepted within a 3-block radius of one another. And shortly thereafter, it was the perfect storm. We hit 2017. All these properties are under renovation. Now, all the other builders, all the other developers, all the other investors are following because they see the demand. I truly don't believe in the term competition. I want to crumple up that word and throw it out the window. There's enough out there for all of us. One of the 3 issues that resulted in my $1.4 million loss of real money, my money in 2017 was yes, between me and my friends and the other developers, it was now a 5-block radius that was just saturated with these luxury properties. As many of you know, it's a smaller buyer pool, right? Now, that's one thing. I would say that's the least of the issues between the 3. Number 2 was because I grew too fast, I hired a second general contractor and I didn't properly vet him. So he cost me $400,000 in mistakes. Guess what? I'm so stubborn. I spent $35,000 to take him to court, got a judgment, still have a judgment today for $400,000 that I'll never be able to collect on because he just dissolved his LLC. So asset protection is very important. And because of those delays, now our properties were taking longer to finish, right? We got shut down, permits were delayed, he wasn't doing things the right way. So instead of our property being on and off the books in 12 to 18 months, they were on and off the books in 24 months plus. Each one of these properties has a $10,000 carrying cost. So I'm spending $100,000 a month in just carrying costs for properties that I'm losing money on. And you know what's so crazy? For those of you who are dealing with the lack of support or negativity from loved ones or friends and family members, now it was my dad who had actually turned around and became my biggest supporter. It was my dad who was like, you got this, just do a price drop, don't worry about it. The thought crossed my mind of foreclosure, the thought of bankruptcy crossed my mind. I never actually considered it. At this time, Sean and I were dating. Every day I'm crying, I'm coming home stressed. I don't share this with you to scare you. In this business, we're going to make money and we're going to lose money, right? So if it hasn't happened, it's going to. It may not be this much. And look, I know people have lost way more than me and others have lost a lot less. It's all relative, right? So you just figure it out. I remember my hard money lender calling me saying, I'm so sorry. What are you going to do? And I didn't understand the question. He thought I was going back to corporate America. Not once did that ever cross my mind. I was like, oh no, I'm just going to change my strategy. Because once you know how to access capital, you can literally do whatever you want. It was because of my ability to raise private money that I was able to pivot. And instead of investing in the luxury market, I went down to the middle income market. Guess what? Still took some losses too. Only 20,000 now. So then I went to the low to middle income market, went back to wholesaling, hustle, started this concierge service, generated finder's fees, referral fees. But if it wasn't for my ability to raise private money, I don't know where I would be today. And guess what? Many of those private money lenders, some of them are here in this room right now. We are still friends and they still invest with me. For those of you wondering, well, Amy, this isn't going to work for me because I'm not a flipper. It doesn't matter. What you see on the screen behind me are 6 different investment strategies. There are over 12, 15, 20 that we can apply these concepts to. Many of you have heard me talk about flipping and offering double-digit returns and a 12% annualized return. That's not going to work if you're using private money for a turnkey rental. So on a turnkey rental, for example, it's probably going to be 6 to 8% with monthly interest only payments. I share this with you because don't worry about the details. We treat every deal as a unique situation. Sounds great, Amy. I get it. You're going to unlock my buying power. What does that mean? Because we often hear the term private money used in so many different ways. And they're not wrong ways, they're just not my way. So I'm going to break down my process to you. When I talk to you about private money, the 3 things I'm not talking about are hard money. Love hard money lenders. I still work with hard money lenders. We've got one of our preferred hard money lenders here. That's private equity. It's technically private money, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about financial institution deals. Number 2, I'm not talking about brokers. Nothing wrong with that. I've taught many of you how to broker deals. By the way, everything I'm teaching you, you don't need a license. We're not talking about the middleman. And number 3 is I'm never talking about the bank, ever. There may be a time and a place that we will selectively choose to work with an investor-friendly credit union or community bank, maybe on like a long-term asset, but that's not what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about anything and everything else. Literally, the minute you leave your house, moving forward, everyone you encounter is a prospective private money lender. Your Uber driver, your neighbors, people from church, the hotel staff, airports, airplanes, airport lounges. We all go to events. Other real estate investors, yes, they're probably looking for money too, but how do we tap into their network? Whether you're new or experienced, when we go to other events, when we are out in public, you guys, you never know who you're standing in front of. And we don't want to come off as someone who's not respectful, professional, cool to work with, fun to work with. At that moment, everything shifted. Even in my personal lives, I still go out, I still drink, I still have fun. I don't post that stuff on social media. That's my choice. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, do whatever you want. But I was like, no, I'm going to position myself in a way where it doesn't matter who sees me. I choose not to speak about controversial topics. Do whatever you guys want. So what you see on the screen behind me is a private money matrix. And this is going to break down for you. And you guys have this in your folders too. So if you want to keep it on your desks at home and use it as a cheat sheet, if you focus on the right-hand side of the screen, these are the characteristics of the private money lenders I'm talking about. And the most important one, especially for those of you who may be newer, or for those of you like all of us who are probably getting hit up on LinkedIn and social media and emails about, click on this link, here's my loan to value, here's my process. Well, what's the highest and best use of our time? Just remember, over 90% of the time, we are seeking out the private money lender. They're not seeking us out. Now, on occasion, you will get approached, right? Depending on who you know. But when somebody comes up to you through LinkedIn and says, I have $5 million to deploy, I live in, I don't know why I just thought of Saudi Arabia. I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm Middle Eastern, so I guess I can say that. And I need to deploy this money now. Like, these are true emails that we have received, you guys have received. Like, that's not normal. I think you guys know that, right? Now, whether you choose to raise money from friends and family members, it doesn't matter. You're still going to treat it like a business. We're going to set it up the right way. So for those of you who are trying to decide, is this really a private money lender or not? Use this cheat sheet. And remember, they don't have a process. They're not going to tell you to click on a link. They're not going to tell you, for the most part, here's what I want. You are setting the standards. What are you offering them? I don't care what you want, Avery. Here's what I'm offering you. And when someone says to you, oh, you've never done this before, I'm going to want a point or 2 or 14%. That's not my standard process.